and she's friends with Heidi, and she was very kind in introducing me to Heidi and drove me up there, and that was 6 years ago.
Yeah,
like that.
this house haunted us for years, and when we went to Albuquerque, we looked at every house with a pool in the state of New Mexico, and Chris said, that's not good enough. And it was because he had seen this house 6 years prior. And that was part of the thing that drove us to Tucson. There were things like the house, like the cactus. There were just parts of Tucson that weren't in New Mexico, and we didn't care to find it in New Mexico. We needed to come to Tucson, and that house was one of the big draws, actually.
Yeah. And Francisco Franklin and all his beautiful artwork he let us capture that on film, which we're very appreciative of too. And this is not to diss on Albuquerque, because we had a fantastic crew there, and they let us do amazing stuff and shoot amazing stuff. And actually, Will, can you stand up, Will? Where are you? Are you out there? Oh, there you are. Well, that's Will, our set decorator, and fantastic work. Yeah, he covered all our original stuff on our Albuquerque sets, and it really helped him with the guidance of Mark Duran, our production designer, really helped make this movie really seamless.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions out there?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I have one. The movie is very character-driven. I mean, and I was very impressed by the way that it never lost my attention throughout the movie for such a, I don't want to use the term low budget, but there was no, like explosions and all of these things to keep the audience interested. So it's very character-driven. And I was wondering if you, and I don't know exactly how the funding works, but if the funding was lined up first, or how was the casting, how did you line up the casting where you had so many big names sign on, and how did that all come about initially?
How did you get so many big names in the film, basically?
Yeah, well, it's always a chicken or the egg thing, because you go to actors of note, and the representatives say, well, do you have the money? And you say, well, no, we need to get the actor in order to have the money. So you just kind of do this dance back and forth and back and forth. I mean, fortunately, the script really was a magnet. A lot of even agents, eventually actors were reading, and it felt like it was a really special piece. So, it was a process of years getting everything lined up. And we originally were going to go with a bigger budget, and then, that didn't work, and then we basically had to half the budget and sort of conceive the movie, and that required a lot more script editing. But really, it was a lot of creative work on our part, just trying to get the movie to fit into this particular budget level, and then, the script just kept attracting actors. So.
And kudos on getting Ty Burrell. I mean, he is
great.
so cool. It was great. So I think we have time for a couple more questions. I know there was one eager gentleman here.
Oh, I was just curious how the producers became involved.
So what was that?
How the producers became involved.
Oh, how did the producers? How did you, Shannon and Jeff, become involved?
Shannon and I had worked on a couple of films really early on at a production company called American Zoetrope. We worked on 2 movies with Francis Coppola together, and then when I first read the book, I had a compulsion to make the film, but I didn't know how you go about optioning the book or doing these things, and so Shannon was a logical person for me to go to, and we kind of partnered and figured it out as we went. And then Jack can talk about his origin.
I guess I kind of have a reputation of making things on a low budget. So when they decided to shoot things in Tucson, I got a phone call to help put that team together and go there and figure out how to do it. So I was happy to join up. And I was lucky that I came on right before it all happened for real. Like everyone else had been toiling away for 9 years in the past, and I come in like 3 months before we start shooting, and it all just happens.
Fresh meat.
Yeah, I got the
He's like, hey guys, let's make a movie.
it all happened so fast.
There was a question right here.
Right here.
Where did you? I love the movie, by the way. It was really terrific. Thank you so much. Where do you film the Mexican bar?
Oh, that was right down. Well, I don't know.
What's a Barrio Viejo?
Just in those streets.
The interior, though, is a former male strip club on Tim, where is it? On our.
There was a male strip club on Thursday, Friday night.
Tucson secrets. Walking me up now. So one more question I think we can do. If you want, right here, ma'am.
So when it comes to the buffet T-shirt, did you pay them or did they pay you?
Oh, I had no idea. All I know is that it showed up on set, and I was like, yes.
We had to pay them $1 million.
And they used it all for cleaning. So if you go to the buffet, it no longer smells like vomit.
You wish. We love the buffet, but it does smell.
I think there was one more hand. Let's just do one more.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
In the back.
How challenging was it to find the actor to play Ellis?
Finding the actor who played Ellis, how challenging was that?
It wasn't as challenging as, some films that are out there trying to find young actors who go all over the country and do, open calls, and the director travels all around. I had two fantastic casting directors, Nicole Daniels and Courtney Bright, who were based in LA, and they did a call, a number of calls, and so I was looking at a lot of audition tape, and when I came across Graham Phillips' audition, I knew in the first 5 seconds. He just was the kid that I had seen in my head for years and years, and then when he did the scenes, you got a sense right away that he just understood the character instinctively. It's sort of a really sort of wise old soul, and you could, when I met with him and he auditioned again, it was just confirmed, but he had read the book before he read the sides for the audition and immediately went out and got the book and told me that, and I could tell, and I love that kind of ethic and that kind of dedication.
And apparently there was sort of a buzz around Hollywood for years that this was one of the best unproduced scripts. And the reason is that we would never find the kid. That you would never find someone who was capable of playing Ellis with that depth and that ability. So we feel really fortunate to have found Graham. He's a gem.
And the role of Ellis is it's a very difficult and tricky one for a film because it's a very internal journey that he goes on, and you have to be able to see it in his face because he doesn't talk a lot about it. Oftentimes about what he's not saying, and so it takes a very special kind of actor to pull that off.
He's also in The Good Wife, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He plays the son.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Also, just about Graham, he's like the most dedicated actor of all. He would bring like his camera to set, and he's just like so into filmmaking from every aspect of it. He was taking photos, and I think, you were at.
So early on, actually before we started shooting, I told him, I was like, one of the things we're never going to be able to shoot is Ellis traveling all these, back and forth between Tucson and the East Coast. And he was working 7 days a week. He would shoot, we were shooting Wednesdays through Sundays, and then he would go and shoot Mondays and Tuesdays on the East Coast to do The Good Wife. And he actually, unbeknownst to me, would travel in his costume and shoot himself on airplanes. So all that footage that you see is actually Graham shooting himself. This beautiful shot of the sunset with the airplane pulling into the gate, it would have cost, $15,000 with, 1 hour at the airport to do. He did it, with his little 5D SLR thing. all that's Graham.
That's a dream star.
Yeah, he actually shoots.
So, do you guys have something you want to say, sort of wrap things up?
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all you guys that came out and worked on my film, and to the Tucson community for making it a really wonderful experience. I stepped off the airplane, and Shannon did too. We're like, oh, it's good to be back here. Thank you.
I've never had the opportunity to thank Chris publicly, but I feel like we've been working on this for 10 years, and so many other people would have just given up, and he didn't. And, we had our ups and downs. Most of them were ups, but I feel like I've really made one of the best friends of my life in Chris. And
I want to thank Jet and Chris and Mark and Shannon for coming out. I want to thank all of you for coming out. Thank you so much.